I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I figured, what the hell, I came up with an idea months ago. I wanted to put all my equipment in one place at one time and show people whatever, what I have and don't have, etc. Kind of like a brag thing, I guess, but not really. But goes along, I guess, with a video of thanking everybody that I used to play with over the years, from Felton all the way to Okinawa and South Dakota. I think I skipped Okinawa, Florida, and Delaware. But anyway, enough of the noise. So first I'm going to go in chronological order. That's with a C, not a K, not chron, K-R, but chronological order of guitars, okay? This first guy, this was one my dad gave me when I was a little kid. Actually, I've got this bass backwards, so I'm going to have to cut this off right now. I'm back. Like, big deal. Here we go. This was the very first guitar that I had as a kid, I think 9 years old. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. It's a Fender steel, lap steel. And I played this, I learned to play this actually when I lived in the Felton, Delaware area. And there was a music house on Main Street in Camden, Delaware. And I took lessons from that guy, whoever that was, and I no longer remember. But anyway, back in this time frame, I showed interest in things like radios and telescopes and stuff like that. So my mother thought it was a good idea if I got into music. So there, I love you, Mom. But really, but anyway, as you can see, it's a Fender, and I think I know another guy around here, around this area, the Delaware area, Kent County, Deloy, I think, has one of these, and I think somebody else does. So it's not like it's special or anything. And there's the Fender signature, you know, and it was fun, okay. And I was stage shy or had stage fright, but I did it. I hated it because we had to do recitals, okay. And actually, that part I hated. It sucked. I didn't want to do that. But anyway, there's that. All right, we're going to come back to the next guitar. All right, this was the next guitar that I had, and my dad gave me this when I was like 13 years old. It's a Silvertone, okay, and as you can see, the genius that I was back then, I think I was 13, which means that was what, 53, 63, that was in the 60s. I varnished it or some crap because it was gold. It was an ugly gold. And anyway, so I redid it a little bit. Back then it kind of looked nice. And then later on in the hippie years, I put that peace sign sticker on down there by the pickup, and whatever that other sticker is, something Greenpeace or whatever. But this is my Silvertone electric, and this is when I started playing electric guitar. All right, see the signature Silvertone, boom, there you go. And I played stuff like Creedence or CCR and Beatles, and tried to play Hendrix, tried to play Allman Brothers, and so on. So this was number 2, and I played that until about age 19. All right, and I'm going to do the guitars first before I get into the organ. But at age 19, that's when I switched over to playing organ, and that was thanks to Sly Stone with his "I Might Like to Hear My Organ." I said, "Ride, Sally, ride." That was fun, man. But there you go. All right, boom. Next. Okay, this was my next guitar, and it was a lookalike Gibson Les Paul, because, man, I love Les Pauls. I like the weight, okay, and the sound. I knew people that had them in my lifetime, and I was a poor boy, all right, so I had to do the next best thing and get a cheap imitation. And this guy here cost, I think, around 200 or so, something like that, back in the 70s, all right. And I did a lot of playing, again, like CCR and rhythm, rhythm playing. That's all I wanted to play was rhythm guitar and sing. I didn't give a rat about playing lead guitar. And I'd always heard lead guitar players were a dime a dozen. Well, that's cool. I didn't want to be a dime a dozen. I wanted to play rhythm and sing. So this guy came about when I lived in Florida, and I'm going to get in closer and see those cracks in the finish. Okay, the vertical cracks in the finish. That happened back in the, wow, man, I think the late 70s, I believe. I went up to Boston. Okay, had a U-Haul full of stuff, music gear, this being included, my organ, etc. And it was so cold, man. It was in January, and the damn thing froze and cracked. Ain't that a bitch? But anyway, man, I love this guitar. It still has the weight. It still sounds good. It needs setting up. It needs to be set up. I think the pickups need to be replaced. Blah blah blah. But it still feels good to me. And it was way back when I, played guitar. Anyway, so there's that guy. All right. Nowadays, I see these guys out there with their Les Pauls, and I think, yep, love it. So, all right, next. Oh, by the way, I used Ernie Ball. I used to love I don't know, that was my style. And also like the medium to thin pick. Nowadays, it's hard for me to hold a frickin' pick. For some reason, they want to fall out of my hand, so whatever. There you go, later. Okay, this is the next guy. This is an acoustic Epiphone, and this came about in the 1990s. Okay, and that was a dark time for me, but I had a lot of time to play, and I like this guitar too. It's really hard action though, man. It'll tear your freaking fingertips up unless you've been playing for a while. And as you can see on the neck, it gives you an idea of how much I played back then. This was in the 90s. I used to do originals, my stuff. I couldn't see playing other people's stuff. Why bother? Because it's already been done, man. How many times you paint the Mona Lisa before it's still not the Mona Lisa? But anyway, each their own. There you go. And some decent memories of the guitar, but not so much of the time frame. All right, so there you go. And the Sultans of Swing are on in the background. All right, later, next. All right, this is the next guy that came about, and I bought B-O-U-G-H-T or B-A-U-G-H-T or whatever you want to call it. I bought this from a local guy, a guy named Tim, and I kind of liked it, but not really. I like the Gibson, fake Gibson Les Paul better, but I figured, what the hell, I'll buy it from you. And he actually tried to get me to play rhythm guitar back when we played together back in the late 90s, I think it was. And yeah, whatever. I guess it held him over while he was doing lead. I would have rather played organ back then, but and it's a PV something or another. All right, and it's kind of cool. It needs another pickup, as you can see the silver, whatever the hell that is. I didn't do it, but I drifted from guitar. Man, you know, stuff happens. So there's that one. All right. But it was fun, Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Missed your face, man. All right, later. Next. All right, this is my Ebenezer bass. And I bought this in the early 2000s. I don't know, around 2002 maybe, something like that. And I got it from a pawn shop, man. And it was just an impulse type buying thing, and I figured, what the hell, man? So I got this, and I did a couple songs on this actually. 2 Johnny Cash songs that are online. I think SoundClick, I don't remember. And it was fun. I put a little time in it. Actually, back when I was 19 and 20, I had what I called a Paul McCartney bass, one of those violin basses, but it was an imitation. And I used to play, I put records on, and I would play bass. I was the only kid, had nobody to play with or fight with, so that's what I would do to blow my time, or whatever, utilize my time. So anyway, there's my Ibanez, or whatever. There's your, see? Wow. Boom. And the strings are still good, because they haven't really been used that much. So, and there's Fleetwood on the background. Alright, there you go. Next. Okay, this is the last of the guitars, and I think this was my kid's guitar, my son's guitar. And this is actually a toy, but what this toy does, okay, is every one of those blue buttons on the neck plays a riff or a run or a chop, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and I believe the buttons towards the center of the bottom, I believe they play in different keys. It's been a while. And what I was going to use this for, I was going to use this to put lead guitar on songs of mine, okay, like cheat, you know. And I know it would work, I just never got around to it. One of the many ideas that I come up with that I didn't do. And I still may, never know. But right now I kind of doubt it. Even has a whammy bar down at the bottom, ain't that cool? And this is made by Tyco. Yeah, one of those high quality babes, you know? So, I think you can get these out of cereal boxes, I'm not sure. But I'm going to tell you what, they do some cool runs, man. You know, the triplet thing and up the neck and all that good stuff. So, alright, that's the minute for that one. Alright, next off we're going to go to the organs. Okay, that's what the plan is. We'll do the L and the BV and the A143. And then that will be out. Alright, later. There's Gumby. Hi. Just me and my shadow. Gumby. Gump. Alright. I'm going to show you my organs here now. Let's see if we can get this open. Hell no, we cannot. Alright. Might have to take a break here for a second. Might not. I don't know. So, here, we're going to take a break. I'm going to pause. Alright, this is my L100. Look how dirty it is. But it's not as bad as it looks, actually. I could clean that up probably in 5 minutes. Spray it down with some deoxit. Okay, and maybe a few choice places with oiling, and it would be back in order. This is an L100. This is what I first started playing back when I was 19. Not a very good video of it. Okay, plus it's in a barn. But this is what I started playing at age 19. I never quite mastered it, but for some reason, people like to hear it. Alright? So, I kind of got benched. Actually, I got permanently... What happened? Actually, I got permanently benched at age 29 when I played with a group called Harrier. And I played with a guy named Mike Sipple. Alright, the local people know him. Good friend, actually very good friend of mine. He's gone now, and really too bad. I figured, well, there was no way I was going to meet his caliber of playing. I did play rhythm guitar at times with him. Okay, and he was patient, but my thing was playing organ and singing, and mainly I played rhythm. I was always what I called backup or color. Okay, I know I'm doing a real crappy job on the video, but this is the barn. All right, a lot of folks have been in here, by the way, to play. I didn't get them all to sign anything like Mike did with his basement. I'm on that signature list, by the way, with his basement, and the picture of him with the guitar. He's looking at the guitar with his face, etc. I'm on that. Very good friend of mine. But anyway, age 19. Is this Slim or what? All right, hold on. Age 19, I started playing organ thanks to my parents, I guess, and Sly and the Family Stone. You might like to hear my organ. I said, ride, Sally, ride. And I got an organ, had an L100 and a Leslie 122. There's my Leslie. Gotta love Leslie, man. It'll make a guitar sound good, actually. And the Beatles used, I don't know if they used a 122 or 147, but they ran guitar through the Leslie. Good sound. But it will pretty much make any POS organ sound good. Okay? Really, because I've used a little portable Roland that made it sound good, but I'm afraid I'll break the Roland eventually. I don't want to do that because it has MIDI and etc. But anyway, so here's my, let's see, I'm going to put that on there, and here's my BV. I know this is terrible, but it's not planned. Hell with that. There's my BV, and that's the back of it. And the thing with the BV, I love this organ, man. The only thing is it didn't have percussion, and that's why I got the A143. Okay, percussion meaning second and third harmonics, that bell sound type thing. Anybody that knows anything about music, at the beginning of the song Green-Eyed Lady, okay, this BV didn't have that. So I started losing tones on the BV, on the keys, and that was bus bar problems, and that's a lot of work, that's a lot of money. So anyway, the BV is out of commission. It's not totaled, even though you see a key there and some mess, but it's really not totaled. Just the owner needs to get off his ass and work on it and fix it, etc. Because I can hook this up still to the Leslie with a combo amp or a combo connection, and I have one of those, the Trek 2, but I haven't done it. Anyway, so after this went down for the count, kind of, I got this bad boy. Okay, and if I had it to do over again, I would have bought an XK1, not the 2, but the XK1. I didn't need something like an XK3. I don't need MIDI. Okay, here's the back of the A143. All right, I love it, man. Still sounds good. And here's the keys, side view. All right, boom. And here's my view. Now I don't have it turned on because it's like 40 degrees out here right now. Look at those old hands. Jeez, Lord, have mercy. Anyway, so this is what I do now, and I'm kind of playing with some folks. We have a permanent drummer, Nick. We do have a permanent drummer, and it seems we have a permanent bass player as well. And anyway, that's about the end of this. I have a piano over here that it's an electric piano, but it's an old-timey one, and but I really don't. I really don't play piano. And I was going to say this about the bass inside earlier. People think because you can play. A lot of people think because you can play bass, you can play guitar. A lot of people think because if you play organ, you can play piano. Not true. Okay, two different things. All right, and the difference between, now a piano player could play organ. All right, but it doesn't mean an organ player can play piano, which I really don't. So, but that's it. All the way back to where we are. I don't know if this makes sense or not. And you know what? I just figured I would share this mess with you. And things could have been different, but I've had a lot of good times and maybe some good times coming up. I'm not sure. And we'll leave it at that. So there she is again. This is a Hammond A143. I'll trade it. No, I won't. Never mind. Thinking that I would trade it for an XK1 used, but I'm not doing that probably. And again, there's my Leslie 122 with my faithful Pepsi. And there you go. That is it. Okay, there's the face that goes behind the voice. Not the prettiest. And I've got a dental problem. Peace. Love y'all, man. Y'all take care. Thanks for the music. All right. In closing, the reason I got the Hammond BV from the L100 was because one day I went over to rehearsal at this guy's garage and there was no sound coming out of the L anymore. So I back then I couldn't figure out how to fix it, and I didn't have money for a tech to fix it. So as strange as it may sound, I went ahead and bought a BV from a local guy, and it lasted me for a long time, man, almost a decade probably. And there you go. And anyway, I've had a good time with all this stuff, and I need to shave really bad. But that's it. All right. Thanks for watching, and maybe there's more music to follow. So rock and roll, support local music because there's no substitute. And have a happy holiday season. It's November 2017, and I'm looking at you. Peace.